Hello friends, welcome to Inside Cycle Initiative. In today's world, you know that press freedom is one of the most pressing issue. Actually, press freedom includes various stakeholders such as journalists, media organization, and even the people also includes as a part of the press freedom. You may get doubt, why we require the press freedom? If there is a press freedom, then only press will able to they express and they are able to report news in unbiased manner, so that people will get to know about what is actually happening, so that government can also be more accountable to the people. That is the reason we needed the press freedom. So then what is this press freedom is all about? It is all about giving freedom to press and lack of unnecessary restrictions on the press. That is about the press freedom. And you may get doubt, do we have press freedom only in the democratic countries or the dictator countries also? Do we require the press freedom only in democratic countries? It is not exactly. Press freedom needed in both the democratic countries as well as totalitarian countries as well. In fact, in totalitarian countries, press freedom requires a lot, because totalitarian countries are the countries where lot of actions are shadow in nature and most of the activities unknown to unknown to people. In those kind of countries, in fact, press freedom required a lot. But unfortunately, it is not happening. So in these kind of situations, now we are going to discuss about the Press Freedom Index 2024 and the rankings about that, and we will discuss about the role of newspaper and the journey of newspaper in the Indian national movement. That means the first newspaper established and what are the important newspapers during the Indian national movement. Those also we will discuss. Okay. So here you can understand Thomas Jefferson, he was saying that our liberty depends on the freedom of the press and that cannot be limited without being lost. Okay. So it is highlighting the importance of the freedom of press. And this was the copy of the India's first newspaper, that is the Bengal Gazette, which established in 1780. The context: World Press Freedom Day, generally it will be observed on 3rd of May every year. It was adopted by UNO following the declaration of the African journalist at the Windhoek. Okay, after the Windhoek summit, UNO declared this May 3rd as an International Press Freedom Day. We will discuss about that further. Theme of this year, Press Freedom Day: a press for the planet, journalism in the face of the environmental crisis. This is the theme of this year, Press Freedom Day. And the 31st Press Freedom Day conference, it will held in Santiago, Chile. It will be held coordinated together by Chile government and UNESCO. Both are coordinating together. This is about this year conference. Next, World Press Freedom Index 2024. Generally, this index is published by every year Reporters Without Borders. They publish and they give rankings to around 180 countries according to the freedom available to press in those countries. And it will be published for every year since 2002. And the press freedom, according to this index, it will be assessed on following 5 parameters: political context, legal framework, economic context, socio-cultural context, and security to the journalist. Based on these 5 parameters, press freedom will be ranked. And the top countries generally, okay, actually I got some leg injury, that is the reason I am limping. Okay, so top countries according to the press freedom: Norway, Denmark and Sweden. These are the 3 top countries. And the bottom countries: Afghanistan, Syria, Eritrea. These are the 3 bottom countries. Then India. In fact, here the most surprising thing is actually our rank, our score dropped. In fact, fell from 36 to 31. But even though our score falls, our rank improved. Compared to 161 in 2023, it is 159 in 2024. This is about the press freedom rank. Then what are the key findings in this World Press Freedom Index? Key findings are: there are threats to press freedom, decline in political indicators, that means the political system is becoming very hostile to press, failure of governments to protect journalism, increase in state pressure and hostile actions, especially journalists are arresting under this very harsh laws, and lack of international will. These are the 5 key findings of the World Press Freedom Index. If you look at here, Press Freedom Day we are celebrating after the Windhoek Declaration, which was by the African journalist. Tell me guys, actually Windhoek is one of the capital of one of the African country. Which African country? Okay, next, UN mentions that the World Press Freedom Day, it is being announced by UN General Assembly in December 1993 on the suggestion of the UNESCO General Conference. They decided to observe this Press Freedom Day on 3rd May because on the day this Windhoek Declaration was made by all the African journalists. Newspapers, in terms of newspaper, the first newspaper in India, it was established by James Hickey in 1780, that is the Bengal Gazette. Even though initially it was established mainly for the purpose of Britishers in Calcutta, later it started even criticizing the British officers also. It made a lot of critical remarks on then Governor General of Bengal, Warren Hastings. Because of that, this newspaper faced libel. Libel means defamatory action for writing, for something writing. So libel, it faces libel cases, and this newspaper was banned. This was the journey of the first newspaper. Then Sambad Kaumudi, this 1821, it was a Bengal weekly started by Raja Ram Mohan Rai, and through this weekly, actually Raja Ram Mohan Rai, he fought against the Sati, and you all know that Sati system was abolished. If you remember, in which year Sati system was abolished? Answer to this question. Next, Miratul Akbar, first Persian weekly started by Raja Ram Mohan Rai, and Ras Goftar, truth teller, also known as, founded by Dadabhai Naoroji, and you know that Dadabhai Naoroji, he was the first Indian to be elected to House of Commons in England. Amrit Bazaar, established by Ghosh brothers, Shishir Kumar Ghosh and Motilal Ghosh. Banga Darshan, a literary journal founded by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. The Hindu, founded by G. Subramaniam Iyer. Kesari in Maratha. Kesari in Maratha language, and this Maratha in English language, established by Balangadhar Tilak. Swadesh Mitra, this was the first Tamil language newspaper published in Madras, established by G. Subramaniam Iyer. After 4 years, he also established one more newspaper in English, that is known as Hindu. Okay, still the newspaper is continuing, and you know that it is one of the most sought after newspaper in UPSC aspirants. Bande Mataram, 1905, started by Bipin Chandra Pal and edited by Aurobindo Ghosh. You know that Aurobindo Ghosh played very important role in Swaraj movement between 1905 to 1907. Next, Yugantar, 1906, established by Barindra Kumar Ghosh. Al Hilal, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. Gadar, weekly journal and mouthpiece of the Gadar movement. You know that Gadar party established by Lala Hardayal, based on San Francisco. Commonweal, Annie Besant. This 1916, actually Annie Besant was behind both Commonweal as well as the New India. Behind both these newspapers, Annie Besant was behind, and he played very important role in the Home Rule movement as well. Actually, the idea of the Home Rule movement was from Annie Besant, even though it was started by the Balangadhar Tilak initially. And Annie Besant played very important role in the inducting Balangadhar Tilak into the Congress. You know that extremists, they were expelled out of the Congress in 1907 Surat session. After that, this induction was happened again in 1916. Next, Young India, famous book written by Lala Lajpat Rai. Independent, Motilal Nehru. Horizon, English News Weekly, started by Mahatma Gandhi. So these are some of the popular newspapers and weeklies during the Indian national freedom struggle. Yesterday's video question. Article 361 of the Constitution of India guarantees the privilege to President of India that he shall, according to Article 361, what kind of privilege will be enjoyed by the President? Not to be answerable to any court for the exercise of the powers of his office. That means during his office, President is not answerable to any court regarding the civil as well as the criminal cases. This is the privilege enjoyed by both President as well as the Governor. Now today's question. Who among the following introduced the Vernacular Press Act? Who introduced the Vernacular Press Act? And if you have a very good knowledge about this Viceroys and Governor Generals, you can easily answer Vernacular Press Act. And one more question to you. Who considered as liberator of Indian press? Who considered as liberator of Indian press? Next, main question. Freedom of speech is considered as a cornerstone of democracy and a fundamental human right. Yes. Discuss the significance of freedom of speech in promoting democratic values and fostering public discourse. So what is the role of freedom of speech in promoting the democratic values and fostering public discourse? This is today's main question. As we reach to the end of this video, we do some quick revision. In this video, we mainly discussed about what is the press freedom is all about, why the press freedom is necessary, who are the stakeholders in the press freedom. Then we discussed about the Press Freedom Index and Press Freedom Day, the history behind the Press Freedom Day. After that, we discussed about India rank in the Press Freedom Index. Then we also discussed about the important newspapers which played a significant role in Indian freedom struggle. So this is about press freedom and the Press Freedom Index in the context of International Press Freedom Day. I hope this video is useful to you. Thanks for watching this video. Have a great day. Jai Hind.